Tensions in Gaza continue to escalate as Hamas Qassam Brigades released video footage showcasing a series of coordinated attacks on Israeli forces. These latest developments underscore the intensity and complexity of the ongoing conflict, as both sides engage in relentless military operations. The footage, circulated through official Hamas channels, presents what the group claims are direct strikes on Israeli troops and equipment, highlighting the growing ferocity of the battle for control in the region. One of the most significant events depicted in the footage took place near Rafah, a southern city in the Gaza Strip that has seen extensive fighting. According to Hamas, a precision strike using an anti-personnel shell targeted a group of 5 Israeli soldiers. The attack, which Hamas claims inflicted casualties, is emblematic of the tactics employed by the Qassam Brigades. Anti-personnel shells are designed to maximize damage to individuals, making them a preferred weapon for close combat scenarios. The video purports to show the moment of impact, with accompanying commentary asserting the operation's success in disrupting Israeli maneuvers in the area. In addition to the strike near Rafah, the footage highlights other incidents involving Israeli military vehicles. One segment focuses on an armored personnel carrier targeted during a tactical operation. The Qassam Brigades allege that the vehicle was struck by an explosive device, causing significant damage and halting its advance. Another segment shows a Nimr military vehicle, a type of light armored tactical vehicle also targeted in what Hamas describes as a precision attack. These actions are portrayed as part of a broader effort by Hamas to counter Israeli advances and inflict material losses. The battlefront near Jabalia, a densely populated area in the northern Gaza Strip, has also been a hotspot for intense clashes. The Qassam Brigades claim that Israeli forces positioned inside a fortified house were targeted in a strategic assault. The footage allegedly captures the aftermath, with Hamas suggesting that the operation dealt a significant blow to Israeli forces operating in the vicinity. The choice of fortified structures by Israeli troops is a common tactic to establish defensive positions in urban warfare. However, Hamas has demonstrated its ability to breach such defenses through coordinated strikes, further complicating Israel's efforts to maintain control. The release of this footage is not only a demonstration of Hamas military activities but also a psychological tool aimed at influencing perceptions on the ground and internationally. By showcasing their ability to strike Israeli forces and equipment, Hamas seeks to bolster morale among its supporters and project strength in the face of a sustained Israeli offensive. These videos are carefully crafted to emphasize tactical successes while minimizing or omitting any setbacks Hamas may have faced in the process. For Israel, these incidents represent the persistent challenges of urban warfare in Gaza. The Israel Defense Forces, IDF, have been engaged in an extensive campaign across the Gaza Strip, targeting what they describe as Hamas military infrastructure, command centers, and weapon storage facilities. However, the dense urban environment, coupled with Hamas' reliance on guerrilla tactics, makes these operations extraordinarily complex. Every advance is met with resistance, and every position secured becomes a potential target for counterattacks. The Qassam Brigade's claims of success in these operations come against the backdrop of broader strategic objectives. Hamas has long positioned itself as a resistance force, framing its actions as a response to Israeli policies and military actions. By engaging Israeli forces directly and publicizing these engagements, Hamas aims to reinforce its narrative of resistance while challenging the perception of Israeli military superiority. As the fighting intensifies, the civilian population of Gaza continues to bear the brunt of the conflict. The humanitarian crisis in the region has reached critical levels, with shortages of food, water, and medical supplies exacerbated by ongoing hostilities. The constant threat of airstrikes and ground operations has left many residents in a state of fear and uncertainty, with displacement becoming a grim reality for thousands. The release of footage depicting military engagements serves as a stark reminder of the violence that permeates everyday life in Gaza, further highlighting the urgent need for a resolution to the conflict. While Hamas celebrates its claimed successes, the IDF has maintained a steady focus on its operational goals. Israeli officials assert that their campaign in Gaza is aimed at neutralizing threats posed by Hamas and ensuring long-term security for Israeli citizens. The IDF's use of advanced technology and intelligence to identify and target Hamas positions underscores the asymmetry of the conflict, where a well-equipped national military confronts a non-state actor operating in densely populated areas. Internationally, the latest developments have drawn mixed reactions. Supporters of Israel emphasize the country's right to defend itself against attacks, while critics highlight the disproportionate impact of military operations on civilians in Gaza. The release of footage by Hamas adds another layer to the narrative, as it seeks to counter Israeli messaging and assert its own version of events. This information warfare is a key aspect of modern conflicts, where perception often shapes international opinion as much as on-the-ground realities. The battle near Rafah, the targeting of military vehicles, and the strike in Jabalia are all part of a larger pattern of asymmetric warfare. Hamas' reliance on hit-and-run tactics, improvised explosive devices, and the element of surprise reflects its adaptation to the challenges posed by Israeli military operations. For the IDF, each engagement requires careful planning to minimize casualties while achieving strategic objectives. The interplay of these tactics creates a dynamic and often unpredictable battlefield, where gains and losses are measured in both military and psychological terms. The ongoing conflict in Gaza is a microcosm of the broader Israeli-Palestinian dispute, a decades-long struggle marked by cycles of violence, failed negotiations, and deep-seated mistrust. The events captured in the Qassam Brigades footage are a snapshot of the latest chapter in this enduring saga, highlighting the human cost and complexity of the conflict. As both sides continue to engage in military operations, the prospect of a lasting resolution remains elusive, with the path forward clouded by political, ideological, and strategic obstacles. In the days and weeks ahead, the situation in Gaza is likely to remain fluid, with both Hamas and the IDF adapting their strategies in response to the evolving battlefield. The release of footage by Hamas is a reminder of the high stakes involved, as each side seeks to assert its narrative and achieve its objectives. For the civilians caught in the crossfire, the priority remains survival, as they navigate the daily realities of living in a war zone. The international community faces a critical challenge in addressing the conflict. While diplomatic efforts continue, the immediate focus must be on alleviating the humanitarian crisis and preventing further escalation. The footage released by Hamas is a stark reminder of the urgent need for dialogue and action to break the cycle of violence.